Bossie is a big shot at the University of Alabama. He's got family there. You can hear it in his accent. All right, so, Brother Bossie, first of all, Merry Christmas. It's good to have you here.
Merry Christmas.
The idea that he was on a call saying, don't sign, we believe that there are more votes than there are people, which turned out to not be true. Does this change any of your feelings about Mr. Trump? Answer, no. But do you think it will change anything within the party?
None whatsoever. Look, Chris, this is a phone call where he's asking people to do their jobs, and he wants to make sure that every valid vote is counted, and he wants to make sure that there's an audit. It sounds like I haven't heard this. You're telling me this for the first time here this evening, but it sounds like it's a perfectly legitimate thing for him and for the RNC chair to be doing to make sure that every valid vote is counted. So I find this to be a lot about nothing except for the fact that you have an overzealous, weaponized Department of Justice who is doing everything they can to try and destroy Donald Trump and will stop at nothing.
He was telling them to, you say, do their job. The way it plays is that he's telling them to not do their job. Their job was to sign and certify, unless they had proof of things.
No, Chris, they're not supposed to sign whatever's put in front of them. They're supposed to sign what they believe to be accurate. And what he was saying is, we still have votes outstanding, which we had all over the country. This is the outrage that Republicans feel, and now, after 3.5 years, that some Democrats and independents feel. This is an outrage when you are trying to, not you, but the Democrats are trying to criminalize our election process. I find it offensive.
So he says in this call, there are more votes out there. They're not. He was wrong about that. In fact, they wound up having like 150.
But you don't know that at the time, Chris. You don't know that at the time.
So what would be the bar for you?
That's why there's that's why you have an audit of the election.
I get it. Now they wound up not having the basis for an audit. But that's neither here nor there. Is there anything that you could learn about how he felt about what he wanted to happen in the election that was just about his own advantage and not about any reasonable belief about anything that was wrong with the election? Is there anything you could learn that would change your mind?
From what limited reporting you're telling me? Absolutely not. The President of the United States had every right to make sure that every valid vote was counted. And that's what he was doing. And he was doing it not only in Michigan, but across the country. And he had every right to do it. And for the Department of Justice to be criminalizing this is outrageous, because the shoe is going to be on the other foot at some point in the future. And that's the danger when you go down this slippery slope.
I don't like that kind of talk, Dave, because
Which kind?
I'll tell you
Which
why.
kind?
That when we get in there, we're going to do the same thing to you. Doesn't somebody got to be better at some point?
Hey, let me stop you right there.
Go ahead.
The Democrats are weaponizing the Department of Justice. The Democrats have been for 8 years trying to destroy this man, put him in prison, destroy his financial empire, and literally kill him. And you're supposed to sit back and fight with feathers? What is this? It's one-sided. It's okay for them to do it and not for us. I'm not saying when we get in there we're going to do it. I'm saying when a Democrat wants to challenge the results of an election at some point in the future, it is, if you set this precedent where it is criminal, it's just a dangerous, slippery slope for this nation.
Well, look, I mean, we are seeing it on the congressional side, right? The same people who are jumping up and down saying that what was done to Trump was wrong, and I understand why, when you know you're not going to remove somebody, the idea of impeaching them, I think, is a tough argument to make. And I made it at the time, as you know. But now they're doing the same thing to Biden.
He's had Russia, the Russia hoax. He's had 2 fake impeachments. He's had 4 indictments and a fraud of a civil a financial trial going on in New York City that's almost over right now. This has been nonstop attack on President Trump. That's what this has been. And so I don't want to hear, oh, it's okay, we're just playing, Marcus of Queensberry rules here. That's not what this is. They are trying to destroy a man, and they're trying to destroy a movement in this country. And you could see he gets stronger and stronger in the polls.
Yes, he does.
He is beating the Republicans. He is now beating Joe Biden by wide margins in these battleground states.
Long way to go.
This is backlash. Right. This is not happening the way the Democrats, all these brilliant strategists, thought it was going to happen. They are absolutely wrong, and Donald Trump's going to win next November.
We got a year left to go. You're sure, even at this point, that he's going to be the candidate?
Well, you just have to, I've done this a few times, as you know, Chris, and you've been around. Mm-hmm. His strength in Iowa, his strength in New Hampshire, his devastating strength in South Carolina, and in Nevada. When he wins the first 4 in devastating fashion, I don't know. I know the left is going to want to continue this, but where does it end? Mm-hmm. He is going to be the nominee when you look at the data.
Dave Bossie, I appreciate you very much, although I feel you've kind of been yelling at me the entire time in this interview. I want you to know that. But when I see you, I still give you a hug. I wish you the best for Christmas. I appreciate your passion. I appreciate you making the case. You're always welcome here. Best to you and the family.
Well, thank you very much. I was hoping the Raging Cajun was going to be on with me, but I guess he's going to
He's been dead asleep since most of what you've been saying. You started talking, he was like, I'll bring him in right now. Dave Bossie, you be well.